a weird sport. It is both peaceful, punctuated by periods of adrenaline. So it's super peaceful hanging out back, watching the birds, watching the wildlife, and then it's just speed and it feels smooth when you're doing everything right. It's working with nature, it's not working against nature. Everything's best when you're working with the wave, and the wave is you know, letting you do what you do. It's nuance, and I think it's that kind of thing, that there's way more to it. The more you learn, the more you know you don't know, and I think that's kind of the addiction, really. Buddy and I both came across the YouTube videos, which I think was some time ago, so it's just kind of brew at the whiteboard.
Welcome to another edition of Big Whiteboard Wednesdays. Today we're going to be talking about how to catch unbroken waves.
You know, it was just so helpful to have some clarity for what you were experiencing. And then we kind of looked into it and like, hey, they run camps. And then we're like, hey, Costa Rica, what a wonderful place to go. And then all of a sudden we were booking our first trips.
I've always watched the Surf Simply video how-tos the first time, and so I just love the way that Harry and Rue did their whiteboard lessons, and so I thought I want to be in a place where somebody takes a picture of me and then diagrams it like a football game and shows how to do it.
I moved to San Diego about 10 years ago, and about 2 years in there I had a buddy that was like, hey, let's go out. And so a bunch of us all kind of went out together, and we were all beginners, and so we were just floundering around in the water. Accidentally good rides that we all got pretty hooked.
One of our mentors is really passionate about surfing and invited us out, and you know, we started at different times there, but both of us took him up on the offer and learned from him. And he had actually been here before.
I started surfing when I was 14. My swim coach took me out and said, we're gonna learn to surf today. I just moved to California from the Midwest and put me on a board and then said, I'm gonna go over here and surf, so you figure it out.
How did I start surfing? Oh yeah, I used to be a windsurfer. So I decided that I didn't need the sail anymore. I just wanted the board, a little simpler.
First time I went surfing, I got pushed into a wave a little further south down the coast. Then we moved out to San Diego and met up with a couple of folks you will have met on camera, namely Kevin Moore, who, instead of literally pushing us onto a wave, figuratively did it, and we've never been the same since.
When you're up on a wave and you're going fast, even if you don't make the maneuver that you're trying to make or whatever, there's this moment where you're just like, I'm doing it, and it's just great, and it feels like nothing else, so.
Whether you're on the wave or not, being out there in nature, it's beautiful with the water. Harmonize with the wave and get kind of a little roller coaster out of it.
You catch one wave and that's all you want to do. You just want to keep surfing forever. So that's always been with me since I was a kid.
Kind of a, weirdly magical thing when you just start going down the line, and usually your first time it's kind of an accident. But you sort of never forget it either, because there's just something about it.
It's one of those things you get to like have that experience of constantly learning. And then also it's like there's this really nice sense of community in surfing, especially, you know, down here.
Even if you paddle past another teacher who saw you do something, and maybe your coach was on the backside and they saw the front side of the wave.
How was that one? That was pretty slick.
Everybody's on the same page. They've all seen what you need to do. They've all seen what you're doing. And everybody pitches in, and they're the teaching techniques, and everybody's super positive.
We were working really on carving and cutbacks, doing a more functional stance in order to enable those type of bigger maneuvers in order to eventually do even cooler maneuvers.
I feel like we covered everything.
Yep.
We have nothing left to learn.
Just kidding.
Basically, the thing was to just sort of, when we're paddling out, you're looking, and then you look down the line, and then setting the rail. That was kind of new for me, because the steeper it gets, the easier it is. And setting that and realizing, oh, I'm I'm pretty stable. I can get up here. And suddenly everything just comes into focus.
For me in particular, I need to get my weight back. My right foot's back. It's really getting weight back over, shifting the hips back over. I grew up in the Midwest, so that, you know, my hip movement's not great. Anybody who's seen me dance knows that. So yeah, it's really working on that, working on turns then, and you know, bringing the shoulders all around and just surfing off the back foot and really trying to tighten up that radius. My favorite wave of the week, I had one good cutback, you know, that I really pulled it together in an 8 and kept going, and then got up high and then rode the whitewater back down. It wasn't the biggest wave, it wasn't the most shapely, but it was the one that I actually put together, and that feels pretty good.
Having those theory lessons is so critical for really understanding what it is that they're trying to explain to you. Because even if they were just showing, you know, perfect examples, like that's always nice, but you think, oh, I thought I was doing that. And then you see yours and you understand like, oh no, I am, you know, I have this part correct, but I don't have my feet in the right position, or my hands are all over the place. And so you really, you know, can break it down to all these individual parts of the stance or the maneuver. And so it's very valuable and super cool also just to see yourself surfing.
Yeah,
right?
You never get to see yourself surfing.
Yeah, so it's great. And now we can finally show our families what we're doing.
It can be tough. It can be tough to see yourself on the wave. It feels one way and it looks another. And so, you know, recognizing that dissonance is how you progress, surely.
And there's cameras in the water, there's drones, there's on the beach, and there's videos and stills, and the technology is amazing because then they can stop it and see where your shoulders are. Are you squared up? And so it's just amazing.
You'll never have more cameras on you surfing than you will here, and you know, there's a reason that it's the core of the analysis.
I mean, without seeing yourself on camera, on film, it helps break it down into bite-sized chunks that you can actually then work on and progress.
On both ends, we've got beautiful shoulders.
Yeah, Jordan is the best, and I want to book another trip just to hang out with her.
We love Jordan.
I worked with Marlon, and Marlon was great. So Jim and I were both working on shortboard maneuvers. You know, you may catch fewer waves maybe than on a longboard, but the quality, the experience anyway, I quite like it.
Gabriel's very positive. He seemed to vibe with me right away, had the same sense of humor, and we just were laughing the whole time. And on top of that, he was giving me Spanish lessons out there, so that was really nice to do. Pretended he was Yoda and I was his Padawan, and we had a lot of fun, and so it was great. But every time it comes out, every day, he's like, we're gonna do it, we're gonna go, we're gonna get it, we're gonna charge these waves, and we're gonna start hunting the peaks. And so it was a lot of fun. He's a fantastic teacher.
Once you're out of the water, the rest of the resort is a physical embodiment of making the entire week help you improve. You know, the space, the layout, the food, the sequencing of stretching and massages, and all in service of helping you survive and get better. They know what you need better than you do. So
pre-morning stretch has been great. Foam rolling, which is something that we own a foam roller, but I never really knew how to do. So picking that up and kind of loosening everything up just to help build in that rotation, just to help kind of build in that general limberness has been great.
There was a lot of things that I've never had before. I can't even tell you. I don't even know what a lot of the things were. They were just so spectacular.
You get to talk to all different people, and like you were saying, everyone is so passionate about surfing, and I learned a lot from each other. Like, what are you working on? And oh, what does that mean? Like, it's a whitewater wheelie.
We came down with a group of 6, so like half the people we already knew and the other half we didn't. And we were all mixed up every day at lunch. Make sure you sit next to everyone at one point.
you know, the first time we had a big supportive group, and this time was no different. You know, you're out in the water and cheering and hooting and hollering for everybody. whenever they, kind of pull into a big one. Or, Ann caught a bomb and where everyone's just cheering from the lineup, a big eruption of applause. So that's just one of the special things here, it's the number and the size and the camaraderie when you get to talk about the waves.
I've worked for a company called Bungie. We make video games. And one of our mission statement is to kind of recreate worlds that inspire friendship. And I think that's one of the cool things about Surf Simply. Like the system that you create kind of builds these like little communities and kind of inspire the kind of camaraderie and friendship amongst the group. And this group definitely exemplifies that.
It's a great group. We can hear them laughing from in here, so it's great. Everyone's been really encouraging. Super fun to hang out with, really interesting group of people from all over. The side conversations, just catching up, making new friends, a really nice part of the week.
You're capable of more than you think you are. There are big challenges out there, in surfing it's these big waves, but in life it could be anything. Surf more, don't be afraid. You can take on big challenges, just prepare yourself.
What Rue and Harry and the owners and the teams have done, they tailor it right to you. And they just do a tremendous job of that. And it's like, I can't say enough about that. I mean, that's the thing I'm going to go home and tell people. It's like, you've got to experience this.